Good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you're going to view this. And thank you for letting me come into your classroom for just a brief few minutes. Around me right now are a great deal of books. I don't buy books I don't read. I may not read them to the end, but I do read them. Who am I? My name is Clyde Ray. They tell me I'm a poet, playwright, producer, and a director. And very recently, I became the artist in residence at the St. John Theater Company. I'm the author of 6 books of poetry. And at present, my present project is writing a series of vignettes for the St. John Theater Company. Basically, what that means is I decided that I wanted to take real people who existed here in St. John and tell their stories. Now that requires a great deal of research. So what I had to do, if I was going to be truthful to these people, was to go and read about all their lives. So there are 6 or 7 people whose lives I had to, if you will, for the want of a better word, investigate. These people actually lived here in St. John. Now, there are stories out there, and we all know we hear the word fake news now, but there are stories out there about people and rumors about certain people that you might believe had done absolutely nothing here in St. John. Well, I'm here to tell you from the newspaper articles, the books, and the research and the places I had to go to find this information, that a lot of the information you may have heard is false. I didn't know these people. I had to go and do the research to find out if these people were real. And they are very real and successful. That's the reason I chose to do this project. These people were successful, and you don't know about them because they're not in your books. Well, I decided that I would write about these people. And one of them, by the way, in a Boston magazine wrote about this particular woman. She was the wealthiest woman in North America. Right here. She lived right here in St. John. Well, I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I'm going to put up that production, and I would hope that you would come to see it. Anyway, what I'd like to do is read you a couple of pieces of my work and then say adios, because truly I am up to my neck in work. My children do a great deal of reading. Their mother does a great deal of reading. I think I've gotten a little lazy, though. I'm into audiobooks now. Anyway, this is entitled Not Unlike You. Not unlike yours, my ancestors sat around the fire, told stories of life before them, of their ancestors and their ancestors' history and glory. Not unlike yours, my ancestors were subjugated and enslaved and tortured. Not unlike yours, my ancestors had to feed themselves, had to learn how to forage. Not unlike yours, my ancestors found a higher power. They searched the skies to glorify. Not unlike you, green grass may or may not grow beneath my feet. Not unlike you, I marvel at the stars and space that we all stand beneath. Not unlike you, a broken heart makes me feel defeated. Not unlike you, there is a perpetual search for spiritual peace. Not unlike you, my choice is not to grovel beneath another person's feet. Not unlike you, there is a fervent desire to stop the world's bleeding. Not unlike you, there is the belief that the cause of war is just plain greed. Not unlike you, there's a hope that we all hear different languages as a new experience, see skin color as a higher power loving different colors. Not unlike you, knowing that in the end, really, our aspirations universally are really no different. Here's a bit of a change of pace, and this is entitled Unswayed She Came, 101 Love Sonnets, written by Clyde Ray. And it's the one thing I like about writing poetry and reading different poets is that you can change your voice. I know that a lot of people think if they read other people's work, it will change your voice. It won't. I read a great deal of women's poetry because a lot about women I don't know, and I don't even want to pretend to know. I read a lot of men's poetry. There are books here. I have James Baldwin. I even have poems by Mao. Yes, there it is, Mao. Chinese poet. He was the leader of China at one time. So I read all kinds of poetry. I don't limit myself, and I don't particularly like fiction, but I will read that, and I listen to it on my audiobooks. I cheat, though. I do cheat. This is entitled Sonnet number 39. Unswayed she came as if by perfume cloud. Such is the beauty of my rose. For her skin is as fair as any petals, a face as soft and sweet. Disarms all that come to greet her. Her enchanting beauty beyond all comparisons meet. And I, with gluttonous desire, woo her in night's cover, covet her, drowning in my passion's heat. Yearly and in every season that I much love her in my fashion, but goes unspoken, blushing, unreasoning. Thus I call upon my muse to give me a poet's tongue, to heap praise from these lips, give them songs to be sung. Gods, I ask, let her lend an ear to a poor, untutored song. And yet, she is of the world, skilled and fair. Methinks I've naught to offer and naught to compare. It's been great coming in to see you. Well, let's try that again. It was great you allowing me to come into your room for a brief few moments. Don't be afraid to read. If you can read, you can follow directions. And if you can follow directions, you'll more likely get well ahead of a whole lot of other people. Because basically that's all we ever do. Pick up something and follow directions. I'm not, I'll tell you the truth. I pick up some of these things to put together, and I can't follow the directions because I'm not mechanically inclined. I hate tools. My ego is not surrounded by tools. So I do the thing I do best. I write, I produce, I direct, and it's been real fun coming in. And you guys take care and be well and stay safe. Cheers.